What is up, guys? Sorarebanger here, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're just going to do a very quick gallery update, go through some recent Sorare results, and also talk through some purchases and transactions that I've completed recently. And obviously, it has been a little while since my last upload. That's down to me. I've just been a little bit lazy, but this week we've got a few videos filmed that are going to be coming out over the next 6-7 days to obviously start creating some more Sorare content on the channel for you guys. And as always, please make sure to like and subscribe. And if you've got any questions about today's video, please let me know down in the comments. Let's get into it. Okay guys, welcome back to the RTG. And yeah, today's video is going to be going through some recent game weeks, some transactions that I've made, and just talking through obviously some recent changes to Sorare and how I feel is the best strategy for me moving forwards. And in general, I may change the naming of the series from an RTG just to like gallery updates, just because I feel like the RTG was there to obviously talk through a road for me to go from playing like rare cap 240s and that sort of thing all the way up to buying my first unique card. And I feel like overall my goals have kind of changed, so I thought it's just going to be more focused on my gallery and how I can sort of optimize the cards that I've got and also the money that I've got to just have success on Sorare, win cards and that sort of thing. So a slight change there, but yeah, anyway, this is game week 451. This was the first game week after we made the change to go into second div rare. And yeah, we had a really good result here, finishing 10th. Conde kept the clean sheet, scoring 79.3. Dennis Apaya scoring 82.6 just from AA alone, which is great in a 3-0 win away at Angers. Gonzalez, who I captained, unfortunately only managed to score 53.5 for bonus. Holtby got the assist, and then Danny Rauber got a goal and assist as well. In hindsight, obviously, we should have captained anyone else apart from Gonzalez, and we would have finished on the podium. I worked out that basically if I captained anyone, the lowest that I could finish would have been third, which is a little bit frustrating. Third place would have got us £157 and also a tier 1 rare, which would have obviously been better than what I won overall. If we have a quick look at what we won on that game week 451, this one here, we won Wardo, who plays for Espanyol. We have used him in a couple of game weeks. Unfortunately, he hasn't hit any of these scores back here, which is a little bit frustrating. He is kind of DA heavy, but yeah, I thought I would hold on to him. He's got 18 goals or assists in the last 31 games, which is obviously very good. Just unfortunately, since we won him here, he's had a 29, a 49, 42 and 38. So not great on his scores, but hopefully he can get back to goal scoring ways. And he is an in-season card as well, so I just feel like keeping him is probably a smart choice. And then in game week 453, we did have another successful game week. We hit both the lower thresholds for cap 240 rare and 240 limited, which was £13.29 in terms of ETH. Normally I would go for the middle threshold in especially 240 limited. However, we only had a weak lineup there, so hitting anything was a bonus. And then we also had another frustrating cap 270 display. And although we did win a tier 4, we didn't pick the right captain again by an absolute mile. We got an unexpected clean sheet from the Wolfsburger lads away at LASK. Some great scores there from Bondman and Baumgartner. Perryman's only managed to score 33.7 in a home game against Kortrijk, which is unexpected. Him at home, he averages like nearly 60. So that was a really unexpected score there. Jonial didn't get any DAs, but scored 72.5 just from AA in a home win against Dundee. And then, yeah, Bergstaller got a goal and assist against Vienne in the derby there. Literally, again, if we captained anyone else, I worked out we would have got a really high tier 3, which would have been obviously better than a tier 4 rare. The rare, which we did win, where are we, is here, was Suet Serdar, who isn't actually a bad card. He's very, very consistent. If you look at his recent starts anyway, if you look at his L5, for instance, like always around that 50 mark, quite a good scorer overall. But someone that obviously plays in Champion Europe, I don't really have much use for him, so he has been sold. But yeah, that could have been a high-end tier 3, which could have obviously had quite a big impact on my gallery, but unfortunately that wasn't to be. But yeah, anyway, still nice to win something and keep the gallery moving forwards. Then moving on to game week 455, we had a double rare win, which was quite nice. Only a tier 3 and tier 4, but still it's nice to be picking up those rares on a regular basis. And once again, we had a quite weak Cap 240 team that managed to hit the lower threshold. We did manage to actually hit 334, so I should have picked the middle one, but I wasn't really expecting much. I just thought I'd just take the guaranteed £1.50 basically. But yeah, in 220 rare, we had a really, really good score here, and we did manage to pick the right captain, which helped out. Brad Stuver and Cascante got an unexpected clean sheet away at Seattle. And I am starting to realize that obviously when you're playing that stat and they're not playing at home, there is that chance of getting some really nice scores, because obviously they should be facing more shots, more clearances, tackles, that sort of stuff, and come under pressure. So if they're obviously playing at a good team like Seattle, who are going to create those chances, if they can keep that clean sheet, then they're going to get some good scores. Stuver and Cascante scored well. Harriman's got a goal and assist in a 3-2 win away at Cercle Bruges, which is great. Scored 84.9, and I was obviously expecting this in the earlier game week at home against Kortrijk, but that's how these things work. Manuel scored in a 2-1 win against Houston. Red Bulls actually look quite good this season. And then, yeah, Corey Baird unfortunately only managed to score 42 and did have a big chance missed as well. Frustrating once again, because this could have been something more, but obviously happy to still win a tier 3. If we would have obviously got a DA here from Baird, we would have moved up into that tier 2 range, which would have obviously been very, very nice. But yeah, obviously wasn't meant to be. And then we did then win a tier 4 in Cap 270 rare. This was a little bit unexpected, as it was kind of a split lineup. Obviously Steve Clark and Appiah didn't score that well, and then it was carried home by Picknewell as captain. Scored really nicely there with a 70 just on AA. Click got the goal against Timbers, I believe that was a penalty, and then Pansel got a goal and assist against the Quakes, which was great. So yeah, 2 rare cards there and a little bit of ETH, and those cards were we'll open this up, Iwata and Ramos. Iwata we have actually sold on recently. We sold him here for £17, which is quite good value, I think, overall. I've got no real sort of use for him, and I believe someone bought him for their collection. And then Ramos, I believe we used in a trade. He's someone that just isn't an overall very, very good scorer. But yeah, I believe it was about £25 worth of cards sold, then plus the £1.50, so like £28.50 from that game week, which is overall quite a good game week for us, and once again just helps to keep the gallery moving forwards and moving towards August. And then moving on to game week 457, we did once again hit the lower threshold in both limited and rare. We absolutely smashed limited, and I should have obviously gone for the middle score here. I'm not sure what I didn't this game week. Normally I'd always go for the lower one because I've either got a really weak lineup or playing a 4-man. I actually think this might have been a 4-man lineup. Yeah, it actually was. This is why I went for the lower threshold, because yeah, only 4 players, but they absolutely smashed it, scoring 91.13 points over. Obviously some nice scores from Kletakar, El Yunusi, Armstrong and Armstrong. And yeah, that's obviously very, very nice. A little bit unfortunate that I didn't pick the middle threshold, but oh well. And then we did obviously come home with the rare threshold as well, which is here. Just some quite nice overall scores, helped out by the Cascante goal and the nice AA from Diego Chara. And this was a weird game actually, as we had a few DMP goalies. Johnson picked up a late injury, I believe on the Friday prior to the game, which killed this lineup. And then here, Henrik Bondman has actually been dropped for a few games for the U23 keeper. From what I've read, it looks like a temporary change, just to sort of see how that keeper does. And yeah, this lineup was dead anyway, but a little bit frustrating that we had 2 DMP goalies for that game week. And that tier 4 limited was Mateus Araujo, who plays in Brazil for the Corinthians. A couple of assists recently, which has obviously propped up his scores. I believe he's about £1.50-ish. So he sold here for £1.88. So somewhere between £1.50 and £2. Hopefully we can get him sold on fairly quickly. And then in terms of this midweek, we do have a live lineup. We have Steve Clark, Dorsey, Elliott, Newell, and Baird. 4 of those guys have played. Obviously, Baird is still yet to play late Thursday evening, early Friday morning if you're on UK time. Steve Clark unfortunately didn't keep the clean sheet and just didn't really make any saves or anything as well. So some terrible AA there. Thankfully, Dorsey scored a last-minute penalty, which propped his score up. He's been really bad in terms of AA and just overall. Houston have quite a lot of injuries and obviously no Hector Herrera as well. So hopefully he can improve when everyone's back fit. Jack Elliott came on only for 21 minutes, managed to get a little bit of AA, which is obviously helpful when he isn't starting. But yeah, Philly got absolutely smashed by, I think that's Pachuca. So yeah, Philly haven't really had a great start. Hopefully he can get some better scores, and the fact that he didn't start during this midweek hopefully means he's going to start on the weekend. Joe Newell got a late assist for Hibs against Ross County, which really helped just to boost this overall score, especially being captain. And then we have Baird coming up, who needs to score 51.86 for us to hit that threshold during the midweek. Whether he can hit it, I'm not sure. Hasn't really been on the greatest form at the start of the season for Cincinnati, but yeah, hopefully he can get a cheap goal or assist and get us across the line for that midweek threshold, which is always nice, as I don't really focus on the midweeks. Anything I can win there is obviously a big bonus. And in terms of the gallery and what sort of transactions I've been doing recently, we've had a little bit of movement. If I go from down here, I got rid of Escobar for Jack Elliott, just because there were some rumors about him going to Inter Miami, and I wasn't really sure whether he would start as much, and his minutes for Houston aren't as secure as what they once were. So I thought getting rid of him for Elliott was probably a smart move moving forwards. We did then sell one of our MLB cards. Obviously here you can see when we won those rare cards. Unfortunately, Pablo Ruiz did do his knee again, so he's out for the whole season. I sold him to a bot for 16 quid and then used some of that money to then purchase Nagbe. Just an overall solid scorer for Columbus Crew. Someone that I can use basically across all sort of game modes, whether it's cat modes or in champ. And especially when at home, he can score normally around that sort of high 50s to low 60s, which could be useful. We did then also pick up a Mark Delgado to pair with Pansel. He's actually scored very well at the start of this season. LA Galaxy look quite strong, especially going forwards. 2 assists, and this game here against Nashville, 37 AA, which is insane. If he can keep that up, his price should obviously rise. But yeah, I think for the gallery moving forwards, we're probably going to keep him and just partner him with Pansel. If we have a look here as well, this chap, Lucas, I say a certain name, Hutelbar, we purchased him because of the Wolfsburg situation. Bondman has been dropped for him for the time being. I thankfully saw the news early and purchased the last one from Pavel, and then his price obviously then increased really high up to £80, and then he settled down around that 60 to like £70 range. I'm probably going to keep him and then use him, and that's obviously always why you buy the backup keeper. Thankfully, I didn't get stung as I saw the news really early. I managed to act quickly, but yeah, if I didn't, would obviously be one keeper down right now, and then have to pay a little bit of a premium to actually get him in. But yeah, thankfully, we managed to pick him up, and we then also picked up someone for next season. Any Burnley fans watching, let me know whether you think this is going to be a good purchase or bad purchase. I think personally it's going to be quite good. Josh Cullen for Burnley. The main reason that I picked him up is that I'm a little bit light for next season in terms of challenger, and I think personally Burnley are going to get relegated. And yeah, his scores in the championship for Burnley, very, very solid, not explosive, but yeah, 17.8 AA, a lot of scores in that 40 to 60 range. And I just feel like he's going to be quite a good piece for me moving forwards. And for the purchase price of £9.72, I feel like that's quite good. And then obviously we won the Araujo and then sold Iwata. So yeah, overall not a lot of moves, some small ones. I'm kind of working out what I want to do and what I want to spend my ETH on. I've probably got about £120 sat there. And yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do moving forwards in terms of purchases. But yeah, hopefully we can work out a plan and a strategy moving forwards. And then in terms of the upcoming game week, we have a few rare lineups to actually talk through. We've gone for four main teams here in Cap 240 rare. We have the Austin boys at home against Philly. Hopefully they can keep a clean sheet or at least get some decent AA. Philly obviously had their midweek game, so hopefully they're a little bit tired from that and Austin can get a good performance there. There we go, can't speak. We've also got Nagbe at home against Red Bulls. Not as easy of a matchup, but yeah, he always scores fairly well at home. Manuel is obviously playing in that fixture as well. Hopefully he can get a cheap goal or assist. And then we've got Mara against Sturmglads. Not the best fixture, but he normally scores well at home. Obviously here our goal is just to hit the lower threshold, which according to Sorare data we have a 30% chance of doing, so hopefully that can come in. We've then got a Cap 270 team here. Gert Baller in goal with Baumgartner away at Tyrol, I believe, the second bottom. Hopefully this chap starts and not Bondman. I don't really like having that uncertainty at goalkeeper. It looks like he's going to get a few games to try and prove himself, so hopefully I can pick the right keeper there. We then have Joe Newell at home in a really nice fixture against Livingston, who I believe are bottom. Pawado against, I'm not sure who that team is, but they're 14th. So yeah, hopefully he can get a goal or assist. Like I mentioned earlier, since I've won him, he hasn't actually done anything. So yeah, if he can actually turn up, that would be nice. And then we've got the main man, Herriman, away at Leuven. Obviously a nice bonus on him, so any goal or assist will really give that team a boost. And our Champ America team, probably my favourite lineup of the weekend. I've got a little choice to make whether I move this into 270 and play this somewhere else, just because they've all got really, really nice matchups. So maybe I chance it and go for 270 and try and win something high up there, maybe a super rare. Or whether I stick to Champ and try and win some in-season MLS cards, which will help me in the upcoming special weeklies. We're probably going to stay here, just because I feel like it's going to be a little bit easier than 270, and people might have some weaker lineups in Champ compared to that. But yeah, we'll see when it comes to Friday. But yeah, we've got Steve Clark at home against Timbers, Brooks Lennon at home against Orlando, Click against Inter Miami, who won't have Messi, he's out injured, and then the LA boys at home to St. Louis, who haven't really had a great start. Obviously 5 home games there, which Gator Guy will absolutely love, and yeah, overall some nice experience on those players as well. So hopefully we can win an in-season MLS card, that would be great, and then we can then purchase a couple and play those MLS special weeklies. I would expect this team to hopefully get me in that like tier 2, tier 3 range. But yeah, let's see. And our strongest lineup of the week, according to Sorare data, is our second div Europe rare team. We have the Leganes boys at home against 16th place. This should hopefully be a clean sheet, and Danny Rabba scores really well at home. Hopefully we pick the right captain here. Rabba is very, very good at home. Got taken off at half-time last game, which is a little bit worrying, but they had a red card, so I'm hoping that's just tactical more than anything else. Holtby is away from home against 10th place. Once again, not the easiest fixture, but hopefully he can get a goal or assist. He takes a lot of their set pieces. And then Jimenez is at home against, I think that's Valladolid. I think that's how you say it. And yeah, once again, not the easiest, but a home fixture. So 4 home games there, and then 1 away from home. And yeah, hopefully Sorare data is right and we can win another second div Europe rare card. We've already got quite a lot of in-season cards in there, so if we can win a couple more before the end of March, that'd be great, and then we can then use them in-season contenders. In terms of the gallery moving forwards, I kind of have a plan, which is to, for the end of the second div season, play in-season contenders and play classic with the MLS cards in challenges. Then obviously if things go well, hopefully we'll be winning some in-season MLS cards, which we can then use when Europe comes round and play those in-season MLS cards in Challenger, which will then hopefully win me some cards from the Eredivisie, Pro League, etc. when all of those leagues are playing at the same time, and hopefully we can then build the gallery that way. And then obviously the Saints collection I'll then play in either Champion if Saints go up, or in Challenger if they obviously stay down. But yeah, that's the sort of overall plan, is to try and use what I've got, purchase pieces to sort of help me out, but not really change too much, and hopefully try and win some in-season cards rather than having to purchase them, because obviously, as we've seen from the recent MLS prices, especially in limited, the difference between classic and in-season is like 2 to 3 times, and I don't really want to be paying those sort of premiums for the MLS cards. So yeah, hopefully we can win more of those in-season cards, which just brings down the overall cost of building lineups. And yeah, hopefully we can sort of mesh the MLS season with the European season and win enough cards to actually sort of have that crossover period. Really, that's going to be all for today's video, guys. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and as I mentioned at the start of the video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and if you've got any questions, let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you next time.